Short-term rentals have become increasingly popular with the help of Airbnb and VRBO. I'm Aprille and this is Raul, and today we're going to talk about how we can help you build your investment portfolio with short-term rentals. Raul, what is a short-term rental?
Short-term rentals are anything that is not backed by a traditional lease, right? So anything that's shorter than 30 days, 45 days, something like that would be considered a short-term rental. Typically, you'll see Airbnbs, VRBOs, stuff that you could get for the weekend, 3 days, 5 days. Instead of going to get in a hotel and you have your whole family, you just kind of go get a house and kind of book it for the weekend.
So what are some of the things that need to be researched?
Yeah, so with VRBOs and Airbnbs, you got to look to make sure that if you're buying a house, because a lot of people are like, I'm going to buy a nice house and I'm going to have a pool and I'm going to just rent it out. Well, unfortunately, we got to check with the HOA laws and see if those guidelines and covenants allow for it. Because sometimes it's saying, no short-term rentals. And if you buy the house and then you can't do it, then you got to do it for a long term if that's your strategy. And sometimes that defeats the whole purpose. Yeah. But as far as, looking at the HOAs, you also got to get the zoning and make sure you're okay there. And then you got to get permission from the Airbnb to make sure you don't have one next door. They always have some sort of, I guess you could call it the Starbucks rule, right? You can't have one directly across from each other, but one next to each other. So you got to make sure that's good. And then you also got to get a permit with the city.
What are some of the pros of having a short-term rental?
Well, some of the pros are you can maximize and multiply your rentals, right? So let's just say you get a house and you're getting $2,200 a month. Well, if you rent out an Airbnb and get about $100 to $150 a month, you can make anywhere between $300 to $4,500 rather than your just fixed $2,200. So you're able to maximize and kind of get some profits of those sooner than a long-term rental.
Makes sense. So on the flip side, what are some of the cons?
Well, the cons are you got renters going through your house pretty much like a hotel, so you're going to have more wear and tear. Yeah. You're also going to have times that maybe you have a booking and it gets canceled and you can't reimburse some of those fees, or you just don't have anyone booking at all. Maybe the weather's poor for 30 days, or maybe just the rental has just slowed down, or maybe your neighbors have caused the rental to slow down. Sometimes your environment is part of what makes your Airbnb successful.
So what are some tips to help make the short-term rental the investment part of it more profitable?
Yeah, so you always want to make sure you have enough beds, right? So if you have a 3 or 4 bedroom home, you always want to at least have like a double bed in one of the rooms, because a lot of people try to maximize, and now we're seeing like 2 families going together to kind of group together to make that environment a little bit more cost effective. Mm-hmm. Also, you want to make sure that you have the accessibility to internet, to the TVs, all the kind of things that go along with it. You want to make sure you have a full working refrigerator, your stove, oven's working right. Yeah. But ultimately, you want to make sure that the house looks like somewhere you would want to go stay and take your family to.
How can the Schrader Group help with the short-term rental process?
Yeah, so we've been blessed to be in a position where we can kind of edge the factors as far as where short terms are working really, really well. Anywhere in the downtown area is one of those areas that people are attracted to. And then we got to look at, any kind of body of water. People love water, so anywhere by the lakes or rivers, those are good spots as well. But we're able to kind of look and see what's affordable, number one, because you don't want to buy something that's super expensive and not be able to pay the mortgage on it. But number two, you want to be able to say that, hey, within this area or this zone, we're able to see that the average rental rates are going for about $100 to $150 a day. If you multiply that by X amount, you're able to see this kind of return in a 6 to 12 month ratio or timeline, if you will. But ultimately, it's just to get ahead of the game and say, this is the areas I would say not to buy, and these are the areas that are really lucrative and really positive for our clients.
We are here to help make your real estate investments more profitable. Subscribe to our channel or give us a call if we can help you in any way.
It's been a pleasure. Y'all have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you guys soon.